Hello everyone, today I'm going to post a video on brain. Many days I've not posted a video yet. So today I'm going to post a video which will give information about the brain and its part, mainly the nervous system, central nervous system and its nerve. And we'll start with the inferior part of the basal surface, which is anterior part, frontal lobe of hemisphere. On inferior lobe, which is olfactory bulb, is situated. From this, a fine thread filio olfactoria passes the bulbs from the nasal cavity, through the lamina cribiosa of ethmoid bone, which is the first pair of cranial nerve, which is, see, you can see here olfactory nerve 1, which passes through this bulb, olfactory bulb, which is this. It passes through that. Okay, the olfactory bulb continues posteriorly olfactory tract. Now, which is the olfactory bulb? Behind it continues through the olfactory tract. It is also noted here, which is the olfactory tract. Terminate as two roots between the eminence called olfactory pyramid. Okay, here is a pyramid type of shape which is called as olfactory pyramid. Back of the pyramid on either side, anterior perforated substance are situated, through which vessels perforates the tissue. Now, between these anterior perforated areas, optic chiasma is formed. See here, I have noted here optic chiasma. Besides this perforated areas, here optic chiasma is formed. Okay, here I have written first point, which is substantia perforated anterior, and second is substantia perforated posterior. Here you can see, here it is substantia anterior and substantia posterior, which is here located, second one, first one and second one. Okay, in between these an optic chiasma is located. Okay, from superior surface gray colored lamina terminalis is formed. From this a gray colored lamina terminalis is formed. Now here you can look a star. Okay, if you can notice a star, it's called lamina terminalis. Okay, and passes deep into the longitudinal cerebral fissure. Now this is optic chiasma. Back of the optic chiasma, a tuber cinerarium is formed. What is formed? Tuber cinerarium. Here you can see a third number. I cannot show in deeply in this diagram. That's why I have noted down the numbers. Through that which you can imagine. This third number is called tuber cinerarium. Here I have written it. Okay, tuber cinerarium, and apex tapers form infundibulum, on which round body called hypophysis cerebri is formed. Now, behind on which apex tapers, this tuber cinerarium apex tapers, on which rounded body is formed. This fourth which I have written, it's called hypophysis cerebri, lodged between the depression of sella turcica, which is lodged between the depression. You can remember the sella turcica, which we have studied in the sphenoid bone also, which is lodged. You can correlate from these. Okay, sella turcica. Now, this third number, which is tuber cinerarium, posterior to it, two spherical white bodies called mammillary is formed. Behind this, a quadrangular depression, interpeduncle fossa. Now I have written here interpeduncle fossa. Only this I can notice in the diagram which I have drawn. That's why I have marked it. Other things I cannot. That's why I have written it here. Okay. Interpeduncle fossa is formed. Two spherical body. Behind what tuber cinerarium. Two spherical white bodies called mammillary. Behind this quadrangular depression, interpedicular fossa, which is floor of posterior perforated substance. This interpeduncle fossa is a floor of posterior perforated substances, side bounded by cerebral peduncles. Now, the cerebral peduncle, which is here, see, this one, which is side bounded by the cerebral peduncle. Okay, and converging posteriorly, which is converging posteriorly. Now, keep this important point, many grooves, lateral, posterior side nerves are formed in this cerebral peduncle side. Okay, posteriorly there is a pons varolii. Posteriorly of this, it's a pons varolii. Lateral or to this is fourth trochlear nerve. You can see here, which is fourth trochlear nerve. is laterally towards it. Okay, and finest, which is the finest nerve, arises from the dorsal surface superior medullary velum. Okay, in the cerebral peduncle, in a group of middle border emerges third pair of cranial nerve, which is oculomotor nerve. Okay, which is a oculomotor nerve. And when I said pons is a like posterior side of this, there is a pons. Okay, and back to it is a medulla oblongata, origin of the sixth pair of cranial nerve, abduction nerve. Okay, now lateral parts of pons sync with cerebellum, middle cerebellum peduncle emerges with the fifth pair and called as trigeminal nerve. You can just observe these things, and what I'm saying you can just correlate with it. Once try to draw this diagram. It doesn't take much time, but you can get a clearance through this. Okay, and middle cerebellum peduncle, which emerges fifth pair, which is called trigeminal nerve. Lateral part of pons, which syncs with the middle cerebral peduncle. In the posterior margin, there is a seventh and eighth nerve, which is facial and auditory. Facial and auditory, which is posterior margin. Okay. Now, hypoglossal nerve, which is between the olive of medulla oblongata and pyramid. You can see here pyramid and olive of medulla oblongata. 12th root of 12th pair of hypoglossal. Here is the hypoglossal. You can see roots of 12th nerve of hypoglossal is formed. Root of 9th, 10th and 11th pair of glossopharyngeal, vagus and accessory nerves sulcus behind the olive. You can see it. Okay, and this lower fibers arises from cervical part of the spinal cord. Keep this in mind. This was a very short and important one. This was a short video on this brain part, which is important, which is short but still it is important, because in this video we can cover many parts if we study it properly. Many things are getting cleared of the nerves, from where it is origin, like which parts are there. If we cannot remember, we can just draw it. Mnemonics are also there, many mnemonics are also there. We can revise it. I will post it when I will get the mnemonic, if I am trying to make it. Okay, just keep watching the videos, and if you have any doubts, comment it. If you want some improvement, please comment down. I will sure try to improve and share my knowledge towards you.